For the crankshaft, I will use these bearings. I have here an SKF bearing. As you can see, the type is 6207, and we have here a specification C3, which is important. I will explain later why. The other bearing, it is a roller bearing type NJ207, and this is a local brand from Romania, but it is a good factory. They have a tradition in making bearings, and they are making quite good bearings. Normally in this engine you need to use two ball bearings 6207. This is the type from the factory, on the front of the crankshaft and in the back of the crankshaft. But I want to use this type, the roller bearing, because it is much powerful. It can take bigger loads. If we consider that in the back of the crankshaft we have the flywheel, and I have this idea when I have seen some schematics with the BMW engines produced immediately after the war in the early 50s, and they had stopped using two identical bearings for the crankshaft, and they have put only in the front the ball bearing and in the back the roller bearing. So it is clearly an improvement, and this is why I want to use this engine in the back of the crankshaft. Also, it will help when I will assemble the crankshaft, and I will explain at the right moment. Also, we can see on this bearing this specification C3. This C3 means that this C3 specifications means that the bearing has a little plate from the factory, and it will help the crankshaft not to be stressed in the engine. It will allow the crankshaft to be more freely, and you will understand when I will assemble the crankshaft. Also, this is the type of bearing that is recommended. The C3 bearing, it is recommended for these engines. So now I have to assemble the oil cylinders. These are new oil cylinders because they were on this crankshaft. I have verified they are clean, but if you have all the oil cylinders, you have to clean them very well. They must be perfect. No debris, no nothing inside here, because this acts like a centrifugal oil filter, and if you have debris inside of these oil cylinders, you'll ruin the crankshaft. So this were checked, they are clean, but I repeat, if you have old oil cylinders, in good shape but old, you have to clean them very well. So you can see this one fits perfect. I just have to put the bolts, and I will use some Loctite. So I am using green Loctite, which is very powerful. You can unscrew this bolt only after you will heat up the crankshafts. I have a lot of force with this tool. So they are tightened with this powerful tool, and also with this green Loctite. It will never come off. Usually these bolts they come loose in time, and the solution was to hit the material here to put inside the slot of the screw, and it was acting like a metal securing. But this way you'll ruin the oil slinger. As you can see, this one had this type of locking. You can see also here, you can see on the bolt here. But with Loctite you don't need to make those securing material. So this is the second oil slinger. So now it is okay. Now we'll let the rear carrier to cool down, and you have to be careful with the position of the bearing. If you put in the other direction, it is not good. This is the correct position. So after I have assembled the oil slingers, I have poured some oil inside here, and you have to check that it is passing. I know it was passing because this crankshaft was disassembled by me, but this is the test that you always have to do when you are checking a crankshaft. I had a problem with the oil baffle and the thrust washer, and I will show you what it was. So we have the bearing, we have the oil baffle, the thrust washer. Here it comes the oil seal, but it's not assembled now. And on top of that we have the flywheel. This is the order assembly. So first I have tried to eliminate the thrust washer. I was thinking to use only the baffle oil, but when I was tightening the flywheel, the baffle oil became locked because the flywheel was sitting on the baffle oil and inner race of the bearing, and that was a problem because if the baffle oil it is locked by the tightening of the flywheel, that means the tapers of the crankshaft and of the flywheel are not joining together, and this is a big problem because if you don't have the tapers joining together, the flywheel it will become loose. So I had to file here the flywheel, and I will explain how I did that. It would be much easier if this height reduction from here to be made on a lathe, but you have to go to a turner. Maybe the turner it is not available. Sometimes the turner doesn't want to start the lathe only for a few cuts here. So it was easier for me to use the old style lathe, let's say. I have used this saw like this to make some marks. I have made some marks in cross pattern. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. 6 marks. Basically, there were some very fine cuts. And after that, I have started to file with a file. Easy until the signs have disappeared. After that, I have measured with the caliber, and slowly by slowly I have eliminated 3/4 of a millimeter, and now I can put a flywheel and lock this baffle oil with this piece of paper. I have made a washer from paper. This is a paper that I have discovered that it is very good for gaskets, and also, as you can see, it comes here. And also, if I want to use as a locking method here, because it is oil, this paper it is oil resistant. And now I will show you. I will put the paper here, and I will tighten the flywheel. And now we can see that with that piece of paper the baffle oil it is locked on the crankshaft. Without that piece of paper it will turn. It will be free here to turn. But with that piece of paper it is locked. So now I know that the tapers of the flywheel and the crankshaft are joining together, and we have this baffle oil fixed here between the flywheel and the inner race of the bearing. So now I can assemble the crankshaft in the engine. And now the test without the paper washer. We put only the baffle oil, the flywheel, and you can see the baffle oil it is turning. So that means the tapers of the flywheel and the crankshaft are joining together, and they are not pressing the baffle oil. So this is the difference. This piece of paper, this is a soft material, so when the flywheel it is pressing the paper, it is pressing also the baffle oil, but in the same time the tapers of the crankshaft and the flywheel are joining together. So like I said before, now we are okay, and I can assemble the crankshaft in the engine, and you'll see the assembly of the crankshaft in the next episode.